Hello, Danica Kopp, licensed clinical social worker, coming to you for Therapy Thursday. First of all, I want to thank you all. Your responses to my drone analogy video were completely overwhelming. Wow, the love, it was amazing. Thank you. I had no idea that kind of things that are just kind of part of my life are just so impactful to others, so thank you. And I had a lot of requests to make another video, so I'm gonna try this out. I'm not guaranteeing anything because this is hard for me. I'm coming to you again from my home office, and today I decided to not get dressed up and to not do my hair and to kind of give you the real me. This is me every day. I'm calling this my quarantine hair don't care because my bangs are growing out and kind of get in my way. But this is the real me. So I wanted to be really kind of real with you and share that. So today I wanted to talk to you about anxiety. I know a lot of us are having a lot of anxiety with everything that's going on in the world. And I wanted to kind of just give you also a frame of reference in terms of like what anxiety is. So if you think of a continuum, and this is a little continuum because I can't go very big and have you see me. So big continuum. On this end of the continuum, which is like the really bad end, you would have a diagnosis that professionals would call, I would say, agoraphobia, and usually agoraphobia with panic disorder. Agoraphobia means that you are so wrapped up in your own anxiety that you can't leave your house. Basically, you're really kind of stuck in your own environment, and you just can't even go out. And with a panic disorder means you're also having panic attacks where maybe you have shortness of breath or difficulty catching your breath or breathing, heart racing, sweating, headaches, GI issues, vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach, etc. So that's like the extreme end of anxiety. And then on the other end, you have like just your general, like you get nervous. That everybody, any human, experiences nervousness. So some things that make everyday humans nervous. Anything new that you're trying. Making videos when you've never really done this. Going to a new school, starting a new job, a job interview, meeting a date for the first time, getting together with friends for the first time, maybe doing your first sleepover. I'm trying to think of other things. I'm sure you can think of a million things that have made you nervous in life. Those are all, that's just everyday nervousness. Public speaking, that's another big one. Everybody's scared to public speak. And yeah, that's nervousness. We all have that. That doesn't mean you have clinical anxiety. That just means you're normal and you're human, okay? Then kind of in the middle, we have this place that's your generalized anxiety disorder, which is also a professional disorder. A professional would diagnose you with this. And a generalized anxiety disorder is usually longer than 6 months of having uncontrolled worry. I'm worried about a lot of us in this day and age, that in 6 months, where will we be and how many months will we all have worried? So maybe we'll have to kind of review this a little bit because, again, we have to look at the context of the situation when we're also looking at diagnoses. So I'm not sure that we want to diagnose everybody with a generalized anxiety disorder because of a world circumstance. So I have some notes. So generalized anxiety disorder, also known as GAD, is excessive worry or uncontrolled anxiety about an event or a series of events that occurs more often than not for over 6 months. You're unable to control your worry. So your mind is just constantly swirling and circling in kind of this worry, and you can't make it stop. There's at least 3 of the following 6 symptoms. So the 6 are restlessness or having a feeling of being keyed up or on edge. You're easily fatigued. You have difficulty concentrating. There's irritability, muscle tension, and sleep disturbance. So 3 of the 6 of those, and in children, you only need to have 1 of the 6. And then the anxiety, worry, or associated physical symptoms cause clinically significant distress or impairment, which means that it's hard for you to kind of live your life because they're so, they impact so much of your life. And then it's not due to another medical condition or any side effects of medication. So those are kind of the exclusions. So you can see that a lot of us right now are kind of meeting probably the criteria minus the 6 months. Fatigued, difficulty concentrating, inability to control the worry, muscle tension. Those are pretty common when you're feeling anxious. The thing is that going on for that longer period and your ability to control it. I myself was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety, in my 30s. And I did start a medication at that point, which changed my life because, quite frankly, I was very irritable. That was a main symptom in addition to the worry. My brain just never stopped. And it had always been like that. So for me, it made a huge difference. So let's go back to today's world. In the world with COVID-19, the unknowns are huge. Will I get sick? Will my family get sick? Will grandma or mom get sick? And, they have risk factors. How long is this going to last? Is it going to come back? When is our world going to go back to normal? When can I see people? When can I go back to school or work? These are really overwhelming thoughts. So when you're having any kind of anxiety, whether it's the little nervousness all the way through to I can't leave my house, I'm so panic stricken, the first step is to just identify hey, this is anxiety. This is fear. I'm scared. I'm overwhelmed with these feelings. And it's really important even with our kids to name them. And I think to maybe spend some time as a family talking about what are we feeling right now? Because we can't really move through our feelings if we don't identify them. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of classes on, hey, let's identify feelings. This is more something that you kind of do privately in therapy or, self-help books. So really being able to sit down and kind of just identify feelings. You can find so much on Pinterest, different feeling charts and, labels for feelings to kind of be able to look at, tease out, because there's the big five, fear, happiness, sadness, I can't remember the other five. There's 5 big ones. And then there's tons of little ones as you filter down. And so sometimes it's fun to come up with kind of the cool, smaller words to describe how you're feeling that get really more into the meat of I'm feeling desolate or, those kind of words. And, they're good words for kids to learn. So I really encourage you to kind of, as families, as individuals, to kind of stop, really think about what are my feelings? Because that's going to be the first step in being able to kind of push through, okay? So once you've identified them, I want to give you 3 things that we know are proven to help with feelings and help with coping with COVID and just in general boosting your immune system. Those 3 things are getting enough sleep, getting good food, healthy food for your body, and getting outside with a little bit of exercise. So, sleep. As humans, we generally need usually 7 to 9, and I would venture 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night, and many of us never get that. Our schedules are a little more flexible right now, so maybe we can really try to work towards, aiming for that 8 hours of sleep a night so that we make sure that our bodies are in a peak condition for, coping with anything we're exposed to. So getting good quality sleep. The second thing is, kind of avoiding the pantry and the fridge at all hours, which I know my pantry is Danica, step away. It's hard. We're home, we're bored, let's just eat. But trying to kind of plan, okay, what are my 3 bigger meals and what are my snacks going to be throughout this day? Build in some treats. It's okay to have some treats, just let's not live on treats. So that's your second thing, is to kind of build in some, some healthy choices and almost plan ahead, because the decision fatigue every day of having to what am I going to snack on? What am I going to feed the kids? Maybe meal plan together on the weekends and kind of purchase what you need so that the plan's done. There's 2 choices, this or that. That's what you can eat. The third thing is to get a little bit of exercise. I am not saying go work out for 3 hours. Believe me, I'm not saying that. I don't encourage that for anybody because I don't want to do that. However, to go outside, get a brisk 20-minute walk, just get your heartbeat elevated a little bit, you're going to release your natural endorphins, which are your normal feel-good chemicals that your body creates. And you have ways to create more of those, and you can do that through just a little bit of exercise. So just getting a little walk in, go walk the dog, go play in the yard, run around the yard with the kids, whatever. Just get a little bit of exercise, probably outside, because we also can really use the vitamin D and the sunlight, which helps us to feel better. So just a mood booster. One of the things I'm focusing on when I take my daily walks is looking at the spring flowers. They're beautiful. So I'm forcing myself to stop and actually take pictures of them. I'm sure you've seen them. I've been posting them just to kind of put a little bit of joy out into the world because they're gorgeous right now. So I encourage you to kind of do those couple things to help yourself to feel better. I would love to hear how you think they work. And I love your feedback on, what you think of my videos. And we'll see how long Therapy Thursday goes on. So Real Me, coming to you live from my home office on Thursdays. Take care and have a great week.